When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in-minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Visible puts the ultimate wireless hack in the palm of your hand. With unlimited 5G wireless data and hotspot designed to keep you connected, powered by Verizon's 5G network. And no contract holding you back. Plans start at $25 a month, or get the premium Visible Plus Pro plan and save $10 on your first month when you use promo code HACK. Make the switch at Visible.com. Terms apply. See Visible.com for details.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's episode of How We're the Podcast. It's Gav and you are joining us today for our look ahead to the game, or games I should say, between Sunderland and RC Lens over the weekend. There are two matches on Saturday, one being taken part behind closed doors and then the other being in a stadium in front of real fans, of course. And today I am joined by a very special guest who's going to give us some insight on our opponents this weekend. I'm honoured to be joined by Hugues from Culture Sang Etoile. I'm not very good at pronunciations, so I will allow you to say it properly, mate. But how are you?
I'm very good, thank you for having me. It's Culture Sang Etoile. I know it's always difficult to pronounce French.
We've had a couple of podcasts recently where we've spoken to people from France, and we've had to pronounce either their names or names of players that we've been linked to, and I've butchered those as well. So I hope I don't offend you too much by not getting that particularly right. But we are here, of course, to talk about RC Lens and Sunderland this weekend, and it's another step on the road towards the new season, right? I think with my club Sunderland, it's the build up to our final pre-season weekend, because the weekend after this we play Rons at the Stadium of Light, which should be quite interesting. So another Ligue team. For yourselves, you're building up to that season starting too. There are going to be two games, as I mentioned. One, I think, played at your training ground, and then the other game will be played at the stadium in the afternoon. And obviously, we're both preparing for very different seasons. But for Sunderland supporters who perhaps don't follow French football particularly closely, how would you describe RC Lens as a football club?
Well, I would say that there are some similarities with Sunderland because we don't have so many titles. And when
thanks for that.
when we saw you on Netflix, Sunderland Till I Die, which we all watched, there was this taxi driver who said Sunderland is a massive football city. Well, that's the same for Lens.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small industrial city. The history is very much linked with coal mining, and the coal mining enabled to have a powerful football club, which gained only one national title in its existence. We were French champions in 1998, and we won the French Cup at last in 2026. That was in May. That was a great moment for the club. So we have a huge followership. We have many supporters around France, and this is demographically an important region for France because coal mining attracted a lot of people. But in terms of, being famous on the international scene, we only played the Champions League 4 times. So that's not a lot.
Not a lot, but 4 times more than Sunderland have, of course. You know, we've not been quite so fortunate to play in the Champions League yet. I will say we are hoping that one day very soon we will get to do that. But we're about to embark upon the Europa League this season, so that should be quite interesting. But yeah, for your team, I guess you've just mentioned it there. You know, finally won a cup, which I imagine was fantastic. Did the club meet expectations this season with the season they had? I mean, second in the league, a cup. I suppose that doesn't really get a lot better than that for you.
Yeah, it was a really unexpectedly good season. We had a new coach, which was Pierre Sage, and he's now off to the Premier League to Crystal Palace. So we lost him after only one season, but the one season that he did was great on all fronts. We were rivals to Paris Saint-Germain, which is never easy. They are dominating our championship so much that when you try to be at that level, it's hard to compete. And we felt that there was a really good atmosphere within the club. Finances are healthy. The group is full with talent, so it will be a difficult challenge for Sunderland to come to that stadium, which is certainly one of the most beautiful ones in France.
Was there any frustration that you didn't, get the title over the line? Like, did you feel like you were in much of a title race with PSG, or is it just a case of they're just too big, too powerful, too strong to compete with?
There was a small time in the end of the winter, the beginning of spring, when we were hoping that we could compete and we could try to beat them on. And we were first for I can't remember how many weeks, but we were first on the table for something like 10 weeks. But I mean, when Paris Saint-Germain tries to close that gap, and when it starts playing its game at full potential, it's not possible to compete for a club like Lens. I mean, the budget is, there's no way we can be rivals to them.
Yeah. What does this upcoming season need to look like for supporters of your club to feel like the club is moving in the right direction again? Because obviously you've had such a positive season. You know, as we said, won a trophy, finished second in the table. Imagine played some really good football, some real big moments over that season. Like, for you to have a season as good as that, what needs to happen?
We're not being too impatient. We know that it's building up slowly. That if you want to lay sound foundations, it takes time. But we are in the Champions League, so we will play against great teams from all the continents, and that's always a celebration when that kind of teams comes to Lens. And being able to play against legendary clubs like Sunderland, which accepted to come to our stadium, that shows the status that we have now and that we will try to maintain, because this club has always been the victim of a kind of boom and bust cycle. When things went okay, it never lasted for too long. So we're trying to be realistic and know that every time there's a new coach, which is the case, we have to rebuild things, and we never know how it can turn out. The public has been very patient, because while Sunderland was going through rough times, it was the same in Lens at the end of the 2010s. We've been back to Ligue 1, the first division, since 2020, so it's quite recent, I would say. And we know that we cannot win a title every season, so let's try we can appreciate the game which has been set and which is very interesting to watch for us.
Yeah. One player who I guess has a link with both clubs is Arthur Masuaku. He spent a short period on loan with your club last season. Didn't play a lot of football though. Looks like you only played a handful of games, but what was his role? I guess it was purely just as a backup, to maybe a more experienced or better player. Like, what was Masuaku like at Lens last season? Because I've got to admit, we signed him as a backup, and again, he only played a handful of games for us. And I think he probably got a little frustrated, wanted to play more because he had the World Cup coming up, and it looks like he didn't play that much. So, what was it like for him at your club?
No, he was below his potential at Lens as well. We were hoping that he would be a good backup as well. At his position, we had two very good players, Malang Sarr and Mathieu Udol. But when it was his time to come to the pitch, he got suspended because he had gotten a red card while being a substitute. So he didn't catch his small chance, and it was frustrating for us. He showed good spirits at other moments, but yeah, he was not really able to break through, and yeah, that disappointed us as well.
Yeah. And I guess another person who's got a bit of a link between the two clubs is Sunderland's current director of football, Florent Ghisolfi, who spent a few years at your club. During that time in which he got promoted back to the top flight, he was there from 2019 to 2022. He's hugely respected by many Sunderland supporters. What sort of reputation does he still have at Lens?
He still has the reputation of being very competent. He brought us a player that made a lot for us, who was Seko Fofana, the Ivorian midfielder, who was at the time in 2020 our most expensive transfer. But he tarnished his legacy by the way he left. He left to a rival club, that's OGC Nice in southeastern France, and well, uh, we 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 never pardoned that because the way he did it, as the club was growing, as the team was in the management, was very complimentary, very working very efficiently. Suddenly, he broke something, and well, he moved on to a club that had other ambitions, other means, financial means. But the way he did it, we didn't like.
Hmm.
So if it's successful in England now, well, good for him.
Yeah, yeah. Um, how important was his role in that rise between 2019, 2022? Because we've seen that Sunderland, he's very hands-on. You actually, you see the footage of the players emerging from the dressing room before the game at half time. Florent Ghisolfi's in the dressing room with the manager. He was brought to the club to work alongside somebody who was already the sporting director. That guy's now gone. So Florent Ghisolfi is the overseer of all of our football operations. And we've seen how hands-on and important he's been for us. How was it with him at your club? Was it a similar sort of role that he had?
Yeah. There were three important people in the club. The president, who is also the owner, who's a London-based businessman, Joseph Ogourian. There was a coach, Franck Hez, who was unexpectedly good because he came from the second team. And there was Florent Ghisolfi in the middle, was really the middleman and was making good transfers and gave a good impression of the club when he was representing us with the, the French league and with other clubs, which we discussed with to have transfers. And it was, as I said, it was very competent. I'm not surprised that he's succeeding elsewhere. It was not that good in Nice. It was not that good in Rome either. But maybe Sunderland is a size of club that where he can get his hands on daily workings, and that's the right size for him, maybe.
Yeah.
Which it did well in Lens as well.
Yeah. And the manager who works with him is Regis Lebris, someone I'm sure you've heard of. Obviously, as the manager of Lorient before he came to Sunderland. I mean, from a French perspective, what have you made of what he has achieved at Sunderland and what he's managed to achieve? Because, took us from the Championship to the Premier League to the Europa League. It's obviously very, very good, the job that he's done. But, as somebody who watched him in Ligue 1 in France, what do you think?
The funny thing is that he was considered to be maybe the coach for us as well. At one point, we thought that Franck, as our coach between 2020 and 2023, would be there for a long time, but he left. And then we were thinking maybe Régis Lebris, who has a similar philosophy of football, very forward-looking football, could be a good replacement for him. It didn't happen. We saw that he struggled after Lorient, but then came to Sunderland and it happened much better. And we're very happy about that because I think the type of football that he makes his players play on. We expect a good game on Saturday against Sunderland. There are two teams which want to really be focused towards scoring goals before defending. So it will be an interesting game, I think.
Indeed. We'll talk about that, I think, after the ads. We'll quickly drop for a break, and then when we come back, we'll have a little chat about the games on Saturday. So we'll see you in a minute.
When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
This message is brought to you by Apple Card. Shave ice by the beach. A trip to the state fair. And a throwback flick at the local drive-in. They're more than just items to check off the summer bucket list. They're also opportunities to earn 2% daily cash back when you use your Apple Card with Apple Pay. Apply for Apple Card now and use in minutes with Apple Pay. Subject to credit approval. Apple Card is issued by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, Salt Lake City branch. Terms and more at applecard.com.
Visible puts the ultimate wireless hack in the palm of your hand. With unlimited 5G wireless data and hotspot designed to keep you connected, powered by Verizon's 5G network. And no contract holding you back. Plans start at $25 a month, or get the premium Visible Plus Pro plan and save $10 on your first month when you use promo code HACK. Make the switch at Visible.com. Terms apply. See Visible.com for details.
I've been in this library for 6 hours. I'm out of snacks and energy. Plus, I just realized I forgot to put deodorant on.
Oh, girl, you're a mess. Let's run to Target.
Let's RTT.
We'll grab some protein chips, body spray, and deodorant.
And we get 20% off with Target Circle so we can get those great face masks for our self-care Sundays.
I love an SCS.
Let's get out of here.
College students get 20% off their next purchase with Target Circle. Subject to terms. Visit target.com/circle for more details.
And welcome back to Howie the podcast. And we are just going to get into the games at the weekend between Lens and Sunderland. And I say games because, as it may have escaped your attention, there are two games taking place. As I said at the top of the show, one will be behind closed doors at the training ground. That'll be one completely separate 11 to the 11 that take to the field in the afternoon at the stadium. I mean, on pre-season, how has it gone so far for your club? Has it been productive? Have you been happy with what you've seen? Has it been a chance to see some new players? What's it been like for you?
It's been very productive. We just came back from a tournament in Como, Italy, where we won. There were 6 teams and we played against Crystal Palace, which was very interesting because their coach is our former coach. And we beat them 3-0 on a 45-minute game. So this one was quite interesting. Then we played a Portuguese not so well-known team, Famalicão. We made a 0-0. And then we went to the final against Villarreal, the Spanish team, which we also beat 3-1 after a 90-minute game. And this one was very encouraging. The team starts having a good cohesion. I think the game is very consistent, and we see some novelties with some players in the defense being able to take other roles, more offensive ones. And I think it's really a promising season with that new coach, Tino Topmoller, German guy who was the assistant in Bayern München, which is quite an impressive resume for us.
Yeah. Any exciting new signings that you've had your eye on?
Um, for the moment, we saw that the players who were there last season were the best one, the ones who moved up very quickly in that preseason, and also the players that come from our academy were also very impressive. For the moment, we've tried a few new recruits. The Belgian Torgen Hazard, who is younger brother of Eden Hazard, who you know very well in England. Also, Michael Cuisance, a French midfielder who played in Germany for most of his career. They still have to prove that they were the right fits for the moment. Also, Polish defender Meg Nawrocki was not always convincing, but these players have to adapt. We'll give them time. It's only preseason. But the players who have impressed us the most were the ones who were already at the club. So for the moment, recruitment has not been our stronghold. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, yeah. What did you think when you saw that it had been announced that we were playing 2 games in a day? Because I don't even know if we're going to be able to watch that first game. I don't know whether it's being streamed or shown or what, but I like to watch everything. So I'll be a little bit disappointed if we can't watch that game and see what the 2 different teams are capable of. But yeah, what did you make of that when you saw that the teams were being split?
Well, I found out in a strange way because I saw that there was a first game at the time that I didn't expect. So I said they're making a mistake on the time. The club did not communicate about that first game. And it's for, the second team for players who are not supposed to gain so much time on the big match. So I think what we had on the first preparation game was that we saw only the goals in short videos. And I will assume that will be the same on Saturday. We'll only have gold, and we'll not know much about that. I mean, behind closed doors, some journalists have been complaining that they cannot even see or write about those games, but that's been the way Lens has been working, and with other French clubs. We're not showing everything, but we're expecting a lot more about the second game.
Mm. And obviously that's going to be a public fixture at the, let's hope I get this right, Stade Bollaert de l'Hélice. Is that right? We got that right? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, you're very good. Stade Bollaert de l'Hélice, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's an opportunity to spread the minutes around. I mean, could more clubs start doing this sort of thing in pre-season? I don't know. I think it's going to be good to see potentially 2 very strong 11s in that game with a crowd, because it means that, for instance, in our pre-season so far, every game we've played, we've basically got to like 45 minutes or an hour and then virtually changed the entire team to allow maybe academy players on, and it's been okay, but I am really keen to see what I would call a proper game. Like, does this feel like a proper game to you?
Of course it does, because it's a Europa League team, as you said. So we're trying to sell it to have we have a 38,000 capacity. We're trying to sell it full stadium. I don't know if we'll get to it because it's early still in the month. But it's streamed on all channels. So yes, having a club like that people know that we've never played, and I think it's very nice to see that we can meet some other fans that will find out about that small city that maybe they've never heard, probably they've never visited, although there is an antenna of the Louvre museum. So if you come to Lens, you should visit that. It's always interesting to welcome English fans because it's very often said that Lens is the most British club in French football. So confronting with British fans is always a pleasure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at your squad now. There are a few names in there who fans of Premier League football will be aware of. You know, there's you mentioned Torgan Hazard, obviously being Eden Hazard's brother. People know who he is. Florian Thauvin, who used to play for Newcastle up the road from us. Odsonne Edouard, who was at Palace for a bit, and I think Celtic in Scotland. There may be
Yes.
others that I'm not too sure of. But is there anybody that we should be looking out for as potentially somebody who could end up soon in the Premier League? Because, you know, Sunderland, a lot of our players have come from the French league, and it is a league that we like to keep a close eye on, just in case this is an emerging talent that we should maybe be looking at for the future. Is there anybody that you would say is got the potential to maybe end up in the English Premier League one day?
Yes, there is. I think one player you should look at is Gagnou, a defender who's very young and very talented. He showed us last season that when he was called to the team because one of his teammates was injured, he showed great talent. What happened is that we had a huge transfer to Brentford with Mamadou Sankaré, a Malian midfielder. So we sold him for about £40 million, which is our biggest sale ever. So we don't need money immediately, and we need rather to keep our good players. But have a look at Ismailio Gagnou, number 25, and maybe you will be surprised with that player who's supposed to be a future French international defender.
You know, in terms of the team we're going to see then from Lens, would I presume you're expecting now to see a really strong 11 because your season's right around the corner like ours, right? So are you hoping the manager goes full strength and plays his best side?
Yeah, we have 2 preparation games left, so we need to step up our game. Ligue will start very strong, and we have ambitions. That means stabilizing as a Champions League club, which we were never able to do in our history. So it's not because we have a new coach that we will be able to afford an adaptation time. He's very keen on getting strong in the beginning of that season. And I think that Sunderland is a very good test of that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to the game. I'm looking forward to seeing two strong sides going at it. We've got Granit Xhaka back for this one, hopefully. Omar Alderete, Shemsden Talbi, and Thomas Meunier, who you'll be aware of. All of these players got to the latter stages of the World Cup, so haven't yet featured in pre-season, so they're going to be hopefully part of the squad. I don't know which game. Maybe they'll play the behind closed doors game because they just need to be eased into the action. I'm not so sure yet, but it should be quite an interesting game. And, you know, yes, it's pre-season. It's all about fitness, as they say. But at the same time, us as fans, we want to see some goals. We want to see some action. And importantly, we don't want to see anybody get injured. We just want to see a nice game of football where we feel like we've been entertained, right? I mean, that's the main thing when it comes to pre-season is everybody comes out of this unscathed. Everybody has good fun.
Yeah, you're totally right. And when we played against Crystal Palace, the coach said, I would like to play them later in the season to show that's a strange statement for us. We want a side that comes prepared and that shows its best. And if you're saying that your best players, and some of them I read were hesitating to make the whole season in Sunderland, if they show up and play their best, well, we will be very happy about that.
Yeah. Well, let's hope, like I say, for a good game of football and hope that this isn't the last time that we face each other for quite a while. You know, you never know. We might end up playing against each other in European competition sometime soon, next couple of years. I would love to see in the Champions League, but I think that would be a tad ambitious for Sunderland, maybe in the Europa League again. We don't know. We'll see how the season goes. But thank you very much for joining us, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. And just like to say good luck for the season. Good luck for everything that's coming up. And thank you very much for hopefully welcoming Sunderland fans with open arms when they come across to play the game on Saturday.
Thank you very much. I don't know if it's appropriate to wish luck to Black Cats, but maybe, yeah.
They bring us luck, apparently. After 8 attempts at dying, they get one last chance. I felt like the Black Cats have had quite an effect on Sunderland over the last 10 years. There's too much strange things have gone on in recent history for somebody not to have had a bit of a, I don't know, maybe a spell on us, maybe a bit of witchcraft. I don't know. We'll see. But seems like everything's going okay at the moment. But yes, thank you very much for your time and for your insight into your club. Much appreciated.
Thank you for your questions. They were very interesting. And good luck to Sunderland and big up to all the fans. I know it's a pretty massive fellowship.
Yeah. And thank you to our listeners. We will be back tomorrow with a match day preview of the game and hopefully a reaction podcast too, so we can chat about all of the action. So make sure you keep up with us on that. We are at Roker Report on all of your social media channels. And you can read our written content at rokerreport.sbnation.com. Just leaves me to say thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you next time.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
I see you. Avatar: Fire and Ash is now streaming on Disney+. It's the film critics are calling the best Avatar yet.
Yeah! Go, 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 go!
A true epic and completely jaw-dropping.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
Return to Pandora on Disney+.
It will be an adventure for the whole fam.
And watch the Oscar-winning phenomenon at home.
This is sick!
Avatar: Fire and Ash, now streaming on Disney+. Rated PG-13.